Again, I'm going to read from James Joyce's Ulysses. It was published in its first full booklet form in 1922, but it was about a day, the 16th of June, in 1904. And in episode 10, called The Wandering Rocks, Mr. Kernan is walking down James's Street in Dublin. He goes into Mr. Crimmon's pub, and the dialogue begins thus. "I'll just take a thimbleful of your best gin, Mr. Crimmins." "A small gin, sir?" "Yes, sir." "Terrible affair, that General Slocum explosion. Terrible, terrible. 1,000 casualties and horrendous scenes. Men trampling down women and children. A most brutal thing. What do they say was the cause?" "Spontaneous combustion. Most scandalous revelation. Not a single lifeboat would float and the firehouse all burst. What I can't understand is how the inspectors ever allowed a boat like that." "Now you're talking straight, Mr. Crimmins. Do you know why?" "Palm oil." "Is that a fact?" "Without a doubt it's palm oil." "Well, now look at that," I smiled at him. "America," I said quietly, "just like that. What is it?" "Graft, my dear sir." "Well, of course, where there's money, there's always someone behind to pick it up." So, in 1904, we had explosions on palm oil transportation ships in port. Recorded by Mr. James Joyce. Now I'd like to bring us up to a really interesting one. This is a letter to the Times written by George Bernard Shaw in 1947. February 1947, letter published in the Times, where George Bernard Shaw decries the British politicians for the lack of initiative and poor judgment. He states in this letter that in 1929 he lobbied the government industry with his solution to the British energy crisis. He declared that for years they could have been harnessing the power of the tides in the Kyle of Tongue and the northern tip of Scotland. George Bernard Shaw was calling out for wave energy in 1927. In the letter he says, "But they went on grubbing for power in coal mines, and now that the atomic bomb has wakened them, they are dreaming of nuclear energies, which are frightfully dangerous and enormously expensive. They do not seem to know that our tides, almost unique in this world, exists." And you know that it wasn't until 1966 at Lawrence in Brittany and France that the first productive tidal power station was built. But George Bernard Shaw was talking about it in 1929. That's how much of an opportunity we have squandered by grubbing in coal mines and causing indisposable waste from nuclear power stations. Okay, thank you very much for listening.